I went from paralyzed to walking again within a year. And no, I didn't follow the path I was told I had to. I was diagnosed at 26 years old with multiple sclerosis. I did everything the doctors told me to do, and by the time I was 41, I was paralyzed from the waist down and partially paralyzed from the waist up. I had been given medicines over the years, took every one. At this point, I was released from the hospital on 14 medications and told I would never walk again, that I was in primary progressive now. Hi, I'm Pamela Berthoum, and as you can very well see, I am healthier than I was all through my mid-20s, mid-upper 20s, and definitely through the whole entire decade of my 30s. How did I get here from there? That's what I want to share with you in this channel. And so much more. This channel is not only about multiple sclerosis. Prior to being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, when I was actually only 16 years old, I had surgery for scoliosis. I actually had 2 Lookie rods implanted in my entire spine and little wires going all around them. And up to that point, prior to my surgery, I had no back pain and no issues. Since the surgery, my back pain has only increased over the years, and I have for many years now lived with chronic back and neck pain. Because the rods and wires have shifted over the years, I have wires that are very closely impinging my spinal cord, and I have osteoarthritis in my entire spine, so neck and back. I also, at age 40, after my 2 youngest sons, I have 4 kiddos, and after my 2 youngest sons were diagnosed with celiac disease, I was tested and I had celiac as well, which pretty much explained my entire history up to that point and how I feel like this celiac is the reason why I got multiple sclerosis in the first place, because of how my body did not process the vitamin D properly, naturally, and also how why I had scoliosis in the first place, because my body was not growing properly. I basically was being poisoned my entire life until I was 40 years old and went off of gluten. My journey is what I want to share with you. God has led me over the years to totally hone my diet. I have found that my multiple sclerosis, as well as autoimmune conditions, and pretty much all autoimmune conditions, by the way, thrive on sugar. Cancers do as well. But not just bad sugars, as everybody claims is the worst, and I do not have bad sugars, but all sugars, which are carbs. Basically, carbs equal sugar. I want to talk a lot about that. I eat low carb. Used to be called Atkins back in the day, then low carb. Now it's called keto. I also had to get my weight down, and now I need to maintain my weight. Every 5 pounds of weight is equal to 20 pounds of pressure on your lower joints especially. I have controlled and maintained my weight primarily through intermittent fasting. I could eat low carb all day long and I won't lose an ounce because my body is so accustomed to it. So I utilize intermittent fasting to be able to keep the weight down. I also want to share my cancer journey. I was diagnosed with stage 3B colorectal cancer in December of 2022. And although I was against all medications, especially prescription medications, having not taken any in many years, I was convinced and inspired by the voices of others primarily, and of my oncologist and surgeon, that I needed to do the radiation and the chemotherapy. And I did, until I heard God's voice saying, you need to stop it. The chemotherapy has done its job. Any more will kill you. And yes, I firmly believe that God used the chemotherapy and the radiation in his methods, as part of his methods to heal me. I don't know why or how, but his ways are so much higher than our ways. But he did totally cure me from the cancer. I have been what I call cancer-free, what they call NED, which is no evidence of disease, since late 2023, and remain that way to this day. So I have a lot of stories to tell. I have a lot of my journey to share, and I want to use this channel to do so. I feel like God has led me on this journey for a reason, and you may be that reason. I want to share this journey of how I got from being very sickly and paralyzed and dependent upon the doctors and the medications, even though they weren't working, to not dependent on any prescription medications whatsoever, and living a very active, healthy, whole, life. And not only how God has inspired me, but like the methods through which he inspired me. Is this channel for you? Really, anybody. It's not just about multiple sclerosis, but if you are dealing with any type of an autoimmune condition, a chronic illness, weight issues, faith issues, being on tons of medications and just feeling sickly, no energy, fatigue, or you just want to be entertained, because I tend to be a lot more sassy than this video shows, but I don't want to scare anybody off yet. Gotta wait till I get into it. Anyway, if any of those things speak to your heart, or you just really want to explore also your relationship with God, because I plan on talking about him a lot through these videos as well, then please join me, subscribe, and if you have any friends that you think could benefit from some of these words that I am sharing or from my journey, then share it with them as well. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you on the flip side. God bless. My name is Pamela Berthum, still standing.